All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Pittsburgh Steelers rookie defensive lineman Yahyah Black. Black is more than just a great name. He's a heck of a football player, and his preseason debut showcased exactly why the Steelers are so high on this young rookie. We'll break down everything that he did so well, plus what it means for the future. As always, in the comment section below, leave us any feedback. Let us know any other Steelers you want us to do a film review on. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, we're going to open up with a run defense, and there's Yahyah Black right there, lined up in a 3 technique on the outside shoulder of the guard there. If he was lined up on the inside eye of the guard, we would call that a 2-eye technique. This is Yahyah Black's very first play of the preseason, his very first snap wearing an NFL uniform, and he made an impact from day one, snap one, second one. This is going to be an inside zone concept from the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to get the left tackle working out. We're going to get a zone double team right here between the left guard and the center, working up to the next level. We're going to get a backside scoop zone double team on the backside. We're going to hit the left guard with a tight right guard, with a tight scoop, working up to the next level while the tackle looks to try and take over Yahyah Black and cut him off. We're going to get motion this way, just like this, to get some over the top flow with the linebackers, and then inside zone concept here, running back going north and south. Let's watch Yahyah Black here again. Very first snap professionally, and he wins the day. Let's check it out. There's the motion. There's a snap. You can see the zone tracks across the board. You can see the zone double team right there. We can see the scoop technique on the backside. Not a great job by the right guard. Went a little bit more, but he's trying to get up to the next level. Let's look at Yahyah Black here. Again, he's got the tackle trying to cut him off. Gets a good shock. Right there, he starts a little behind the 8 ball. After all, it's a first snap, right? The right tackle does a good job of almost squaring him up, but Yahyah Black keeps working, and he ends up making the tackle. You're talking about very first snap impact player. This is what you're looking for. Everyone talked about Derek Harmon, and he's having a really good camp, really good preseason. Sawyer gets a lot of attention as well. But when you look at Yahyah Black, just a feisty, tough guy, I mean, there's just something about him, right? A little bit awkward in his stance, doesn't wear gloves, all that kind of stuff. But he just makes plays. He flies off the tape, and it started with this snap. All right, from the wide copy, you can see Yahyah Black lined up right there. See how he fights through number 77. Doesn't give up any ground either. That's what I love. You can see the line of scrimmage is basically the 39.5. We'll call it the 40-yard line. I'm sorry, the 40.5. We'll call it the 40-yard line. So here he stays on the line of scrimmage, doesn't give up any ground, flows down, and then ends up making the tackle for a very limited gain. Again, good run defense, very first snap in the National Football League, already executing at a high level. All right, how about some one-on-one pass rush? There's Yahyah Black right there. This time he is lined up in that 2-eye on the inside eye of the guard right there. We're going to see the Jacksonville Jaguars slide their protection to the offensive right, the left side of your screen. So the center is going to take this gap. The guard's going to take this gap, and the tackle's going to take this gap. And on the backside here, we're going to get one-on-one. The guard one-on-one with Yahyah Black, and the tackle right here, one-on-one with the edge rusher, just like this. This is a situation where anytime you get a one-on-one opportunity when you're in Yahyah Black's shoes right here, you got to take advantage of it because you basically have a 3-way go, right? You can go straight up the field to beat the guard. You can go around him, outside of him, or you can go through him. You get a 3-way opportunity like this, you got to take advantage of it. Yahyah Black does just that. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the center, right guard, and right tackle all taking the gap to their right. We can see one-on-one right there on the backside. Let's look at Yahyah Black. He fires off into his gap first thing. He sees pass. What does he do? Go to his counter move, get some pressure right on the quarterback's face. Nicely done. Beats the guard here. Again, he has the 3-way go, and this is a tough situation for any guard, I will admit, because you got to move your butt over here, because if you're slow and you let this guy just run right up this gap right here, right in the quarterback's face, that's an absolute disaster. So you got to move over there very quickly, which the guard does. Give him credit, but also give credit to Yahyah Black. Again, ends up beating him outside. If it would have been more than just a very quick throw, he would have had a hit on the quarterback. Again, this guy's a run stuffer, right? That's what he was drafted to do. That's what he did in college. Pass rush was the weakest part of his game. You wouldn't know it if you watched this play. Good rep right here from the young rookie. From the wide copy, you get a really good look at it right here. You can see the center, right guard, right tackle all slide to the right. You can see right here the left guard. He's got to protect the inside on Yahyah Black. Yahyah Black extends, good bench press there. Eye on the quarterback, shock sheds, and then gets pressure right in the quarterback's face. Again, it's a quick throw. Ball's already gone. But if it had been any sort of longer play than just this really quick throw, Yahyah Black would have been there to deliver a hit on the quarterback. Again, he's not in the game to get after the quarterback. He's not in the game to rush the passer, but it is a really nice job of it right here. All right, next up, let's try stopping the run at the point of attack. There is Yahyah Black right there. He's lined up in a 3 technique right there on the outside shoulder of that offensive guard. The Jacksonville Jaguars here are going to run a zone concept. They're going to have this left tackle base this defensive end who's off the screen. They're going to have this guard right here, base reach Yahyah Black. Center's going to work up to the next level. Backside guard working to cut off that defensive tackle, and then backside scoops on the backside. The whole strategy here from the Jacksonville Jaguars is to have these 4 offensive linemen dislocate these four Pittsburgh Steelers. Get these guys all moving that way horizontally or horizontally and vertically, and have the running back take this track and then cut back right behind it. The way you can prevent that up front is when you set the edge, when you hold your gap, like Yahyah Black right here, holding his gap, not allowing any dislocation, forcing the running back to cut back before he wants to. That's exactly what the young rookie does here. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see left tackle, left guard, center, all working up. They get hats on hats. Again, they're trying to dislocate. They're trying to get these guys moving, right? When you reach these defensive linemen, you're trying to force them to sprint outside to avoid getting reached. But right here, Yahyah Black shocks the guard, gets into his gap. Look at his technique. Feet, shoulders, helmet, parallel to line of scrimmage. He's eyeing the running back. The dislocation stops. He sets the edge. He holds his gap right here, forces the running back to cut back before there's an opportunity. Now, here's what I love about it. So right here, good job, good strength, good power, doing everything you want right there in terms of stopping the run. But the next element, becoming a playmaker, getting off the block, tracking down the line of scrimmage, making the tackle. This is what we want from any defensive lineman, let alone a rookie in his very first game. You talk about dominating at the point of attack. This is really good stuff. I guarantee if 97 was playing, this is what we would expect from him. We get this from Yahyah Black. Again, preseason, looking at the competition he's going up against. That's all things you have to consider, of course. But I tell you what, folks, for it being his very first game, he's playing as advertised in the run defense department, shocking the guard, extending, controlling his gap, forcing the cutback, a great team play, and then becoming a playmaker on the other end. All right, from the wide copy, you get a really good look at Yahyah Black right here. The Jacksonville Jaguars, again, no new line of scrimmage. Watch how he gets into this guard right here. It's close. It's tight combat right there. Watch his bench press. Bang, locks him out. New line of scrimmage. No movement at all from the offense. Forces the running back to cut back. Then he plays off the block and ends up making the tackle. This is so good because remember the Jaguars, they're trying to get these four guys right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 from Pittsburgh, dislocated. They get 45 dislocated a little bit. They get the linebacker number 50 dislocated a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. There's an opportunity there to maybe cut behind him. But Yahyah Black sets the edge. He forces the running back to cut back before he wants to because there's so much mass right here. The line of scrimmage doesn't get reset. It gets pushed back. Yahyah Black, again, doing good teamwork and then finishing up the play. All right, how about another pass rush? This run stuffer, Yahyah Black right here. I tell you what, he's pretty darn good at rushing the passer. Jacksonville Jaguars, they're going to slide their protection to the offensive left in this situation. So the center is going to take this gap, left guard's going to take this gap, and the left tackle is going to take that gap just like this, which means on the backside, we got 1-on-1 right here. Right guard on Yahyah Black. Tackle right here is looking for anyone coming outside who's off the screen currently. This is a situation, again, you got a three-way go. You can beat him either outside, you can beat him by going through, or you can beat him by going inside. You got a lot of chances here, a lot of opportunities, a lot of different angles of attack, if you will, and Yahyah Black capitalizes on it. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see center, left guard, left tackle, taking the gap to their left. Let's look at Yahyah Black right here. Again, one-on-one, he's got a lot of space to work with, engages in contact, swim move over the top, beats him back inside, pressure right in the quarterback's face. I tell you what, for being a run stuffer, now granted, it's not the most elegant swim move I've ever seen, right? But I tell you what, it's pretty darn good. I mean, you would have me fooled. I would have said he was a primary pass rushing defensive tackle in college with moves like this, with reps like this. He just keeps winning at the point of attack, folks. Does his job in the run game, making plays, play side, backside, and he's great in these one-on-one opportunities. If you have a run-stuffing defensive tackle that can win one-on-one plays like this, it's so tough for the opposition because in these situations, in this protection, as you can see, they're sliding it to the other direction, and they're basically saying, hey, listen, we think our guard can handle a run stuffer and pass pro, but if you've got a guy like Yahyah Black with good moves and a guard by himself can't handle him, then guess what? As an offense, what do? Because then you slide this way, and then you have isolated problems on the other side. Yahyah Black being a complete football player, I think will be a surprise reward for the Steelers. Really nice pickup, 78 is. All right, from the wide copy, really good look at it right here. Again, you see the protection going to slide to their left, one-on-one, gets into him. Look at this shock shed, all this stuff right here. Shock, push, pull, over the top, swim move. I mean, that's just perfect technique, right? I love when he gets into people right there. His go-to move. He gets face mask to face mask, then does his bench press, and because it's pass rush in this situation, he did the push on the bench press and then the pull, swim move over the top, gets pressure in the quarterback's face. Nice rep. All right, sticking with the pass rush opportunity, there's Yahyah Black. I think in this case, I would call him a tilted one technique on the outside shoulder of the center right there, even though he's lined up in maybe more of a 2-eye. I think because of his angle like this, I think he's more lined up in a one technique on the offensive center. But from an offensive perspective, we're going to get motion pre-snap just like this, and a little play action inside. And what's going to happen is this guard's going to come down and take on Yahyah Black, with the center providing some post help right here on the young defensive tackle. Yahyah Black doesn't have as much of an opportunity to win outright on this play like he did on others, but he still finds a way to push through, get some pressure on the quarterback by pushing the pocket. Another good rep. Let's check it out. There's motion. There's a play action. Quarterback under pressure, has to check it down. Good tackle, good D across the board. Let's look at Yahyah Black right here. Again, he fires off. He thinks it could be run. He's got some post help from the center, so one-on-one opportunity right there. This guard does a pretty good job on this one. Squares him up, moves his feet right there, stops Yahyah Black's momentum. But this is when it becomes a power game. This is when that bench press comes into the fold right there. Look at this young defensive tackle, number 78, gets into 61 and uses his arms to completely dislocate the offensive lineman and walk him back. Just keep pushing him into the quarterback. This is one of those hidden plays because right here, quarterback's got pressure right in his face, but we've seen instances. You gotta love that holding, by the way. Good Lord Almighty. But we've seen instances where good quarterbacks, they can slide to the right or step up or step back a little bit to try and avoid an ongoing pass rusher like this. But when you have the offensive guard, your own offensive guard getting pushed into you, there's nothing you can do as a quarterback, right? Tom Brady famously used to have issues with this. Peyton Manning, all the great ones do. Every single quarterback does. When you have your guard get walked into your lap just like this, you're forced to get rid of it quickly. Obviously, the fact that 53, I believe that was 53 right there, yeah, because he's getting pressure too, that certainly helps the cause. Good defense across the board. All right, from the wide copy, watch Yahyah Black here again. When he gets picked up by 61, 61 does a much better job stopping his momentum right there. But here, Yahyah Black, number 78, walks him back to the quarterback. Again, that's count how far he walks him back. So the ball is snapped right here. I would call that, we'll call it the 47-yard line right there. He gets into the guard right around the 47. Watch how far he walks him back. All the way back to what? The opposite 45. We're talking 7 yards deep in the pocket, right? Right in the quarterback's lap. Quarterback has to hit the check down. Can't look downfield. Maybe he's got something here, right? Maybe he wants to throw this out route to this tight end. Maybe he's got someone breaking down the middle of the field right here for a big play. But he can't even consider looking to those guys because he's got pressure in his face from his side by 53, and he's got Yahyah Black walking his guard right into his lap. You got to hit the check down. Steelers are ready. Good defense. All right, let's end on my favorite play from Yahyah Black during the entire game. There he is right there lined up in. I'm going to still call that a tilted one, but maybe you can make an argument it's a two-eye technique. But regardless, in this situation, we're going to get a play action and then release into a screen game right here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we're going to get offensive linemen releasing downfield to try and lead the way. Now, what you're taught as an offensive lineman, if you're blocking a defensive lineman in a screen game and you're trying to release downfield and he stays on you, you have to stay on him because if you let him go, then he has a chance to blow up the play. So what you can do if you're a smart defensive lineman, if you read screen, if you say, hey, screen's coming, you try and basically get on these offensive linemen so you can free up your linebackers to make plays. Yahyah Black does that. Again, a great team guy, but he also shows extraordinary effort. He fights through the guard and then gets downfield, laying out his body. You talk about championship, playoff victory kind of effort. I know it's the preseason, but this is what you love to see. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap, play action, setting up the screen. Get down in space right there. Yahyah Black lays out, almost gets him. I tell you what, talk about effort for a big guy, run-stuffing guy. Watch how much he's flying. Look how much he's trying his best, laying out his entire body. Preseason game, giving it all on the line right there. A little friendly fire. It's 42. Oh, my goodness. That had to hurt. Jeez, getting just trundled by Yahyah Black. That's not something I wish on even my worst enemy. But I tell you what right here, you want championship effort, you want playoff victory kind of effort. This is what you get, guys. You get preseason guys, you got rookies right here just trying to figure it out, and all they're doing is fighting through blocks, doing their job, and laying out their bodies on the line. I love this kind of stuff because push comes to shove. There's going to be opportunities during the regular season where he gets there, maybe a beat earlier, and he can make the tackle. And instead of it being a first down, it's now 3rd and 3. Or maybe he punches the ball out and it's a game-changing takeaway, right? This is the difference, right? This next level effort and intensity. We don't see it the way we used to with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Going to be totally honest. They got a lot of really great players across the board, but if you look at their team defense, and it's still very good, that championship level effort's been missing for a very long time. I think guys like Benton are bringing it back, the young nose guard, and I think Yahyah Black can add to that mix as well. All right, from the wide copy, you're going to see Yahyah Black just do a phenomenal job when he gets into the pass rush off the play action. He sees it's a screen and he stays on the center, forces the center to stay on him. Again, he's fighting through everything, getting held a little bit. Again, just all about effort, freeing up his linebackers. This is one of the things I don't understand about the Steelers right here a little bit. is a little slow, right? Look how far away he is. I don't know the coverage. It's preseason. It gets vanilla, right? So I don't want to go too much into that. But here's a situation where the Jacksonville Jaguars just catch the Steelers in a good play for them to execute. But because right here, imagine just for a second if you've got Yahyah Black and he's caught up in the trash, and this offensive lineman can pick up Wilson. Maybe this running back cuts back across the field and scores a touchdown. Instead, it's a much smaller gain. It's the little things right here that go unnoticed, but it's the difference between winning and losing in these big moments against tough competition. Yahyah Black, not the biggest headline grabber in terms of names and draft picks and all that stuff, but in terms of value to the Steelers, he's going to do a great job for them this season.